So, have you guys gotten a tally on who the favorite rapper is of all time?
Yeah, it was Drake.
The lawyer sound right through your bullshit on that one.
And what's your justification for saying Drake, man?
Cause it's Drizzy.
So what other name do you have besides Drake and Drizzy? So when I ask you your next question, because you're gonna give me the same answer. No, seriously, you guys have a tally?
It was Tupac.
Yeah, that's what I would imagine, man.
Best rapper of all time.
Yeah, lyricist wise, yeah, hell yeah.
Now, the first question that I have for you, Matthew, is what got you into law?
I always wanted to do what a lot of my family's in law enforcement, you know, the cops, and
Now you're a vet or what?
got some families in corrections, stuff like that. But my dad always wanted to get into law enforcement himself, but he had my sister really early, and my mom was nervous about him doing that line of work. And so I, wanted to kind of follow in his footsteps, but when I got old enough, I realized I, didn't really want to be a cop and wanted to get into the legal system somehow, but didn't really want to be a typical attorney, And when I realized fairly early that I can do like sports agency law, that kind of attracted me because I can do the legal aspect without having to go home at night with a heavy heart, if you don't win your court case or feel bad about your clients and stuff. Like when you're doing sports management or agency, you're dealing with nothing but baller clients, man.
So did you always do that, or did you start somewhere else?
Nah, when I first started interning, that's where I started. I actually had to work in the mailroom.
So you guys licking all the stamps? Licking all the
Just
stamps?
sorting mail, So, we had a huge agency, so you had to, sort everything, get everything ready to get distributed throughout the building. I had like 1,000 lawyers on staff, so
Damn.
it's a lot of mail that goes through that building.
How long did you work as an intern?
Fuck, I worked for 2 years for free.
For free?
Yeah, absolutely free.
So what were you doing to get money during that time?
Bartending. That's when my habit of not sleeping occurred. I didn't have much time to sleep.
So you were doing this where? Can you tell the people watching the video?
In LA, in Los Angeles. I can't tell what agency I was at, no.
No, it's okay.
Because I'm no longer working for them. But they used to film Entourage in our building. That's a little clue. Yeah, so dealing with that, I played sports my whole life, so it's kind of nice to be able to stay in that area of sports, I knew I was never going to be able to play sports professionally.
And from which college did you receive your degree from?
I got my undergraduate from the University of California, Berkeley, and then I got my law degree from USC. And my culinary degree from CIA.
And you said you played a little bit of sports too, right?
Yeah, I played sports. I played 3 sports in high school and I played in college.
So are you allowed to say who you play with? Any big names that you still see in the NFL?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, Marshawn Lynch, a lot of the guys that went to Cal. Played with a guy here from Salinas too at Cal, Michael Sparks. But those are the two, Aaron Rodgers and Marshawn Lynch, those are the 2 biggest names. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do much after that. All them dudes went to the pros. I went to USC.
But you became a pro lawyer.
Pro something.
Yeah, exactly. Tell the audience what other businesses you have.
My dad and I run a construction company, and I also have a catering company called Culinary Creations. where we do in-house catering in Pebble Beach and Carmel. That's pretty much keeps up most of my time nowadays. In fact, I got a really big gig tomorrow.
So a person who stays that busy, does he still have time, you know, for a wife or a girlfriend?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. You just gotta make time. You know, everyone says that they don't have time to do things, but they'll sit and binge watch a show, you know, on Netflix, but they don't have time to go work out, you know?
Mm-hmm. I hear that all the time.
It's just answers. I mean, it's making choices and making ones that will either, you know, keep you at the same level, you know, help you to get to the next level, or take a step back, you know?
So what motivates you each morning to just keep it going?
You know, I had a coach that, you know, when I first started out in sports, you know, I wasn't the best athlete. You know, I just really didn't work hard. I had a coach, and he would be like, "Don't be so hard on yourself. You know, just every single day try to be a little better than you were the day before." And so that's, you know, I just always try to accomplish something a little more than the day before. I mean, even if it's something small, like, you know, eating the right way for that day, you know, just something.
So, baby steps.
Yeah. You know, when I was in the hospital, a lady sent me a card, and I didn't even know the lady. It was my girlfriend's mom's acupuncturist, right?
Yeah.
And out of all I got a lot of gifts and shit when I had cards and stuff, you know, inspirational stuff when I was in the hospital. And hers was the most inspiring to me, and I didn't even know who she was. And the front of the card says, "Even tiny steps get you going in the right direction." And at that time, I couldn't walk, you know?
Yeah.
I was having to learn how to walk again, and, you know, that really inspired my ass. I was like, fuck yeah. Doesn't matter how slow, you know, you're doing it, you're still doing it. It's never too late, man.
So you think in a way that's how people get successful, right, in life? Just doing something a little bit at a time until you either master what you're trying to go after.
I think, yeah, I mean, the thing is a lot of people, a lot of people try to do, you know, a million different things, but if you do one thing a million times, you become an expert at it, you know? And people try to jump around looking for the next quick way to make bucks, or, you know, they don't just focus on one goal. I mean, once you establish yourself and you have the means to create multiple businesses, that's a different story, you know, because you're already successful. But a lot of people just try to do too much. And a lot of people do stuff that they don't like. Like, in order to be successful, you have to be doing something that you enjoy doing. And that's, you know, kind of why I started to step away from the legal field, just because I wasn't enjoying it anymore. And no amount of money is worth, you know, stress without enjoyment.
So as a person that, you know, works hard, do you also play hard? Or?
Oh yeah,
you know?
man. Yeah, I like to have fun. I mean, you got to take breaks.
So if you were talking to your younger self, is there any advice that you could give yourself now, like, you know, you have a couple of years in the business?
A lot of shit, man. I would have. My biggest thing I would tell myself is not to procrastinate, man. Like, I could have done shit way faster. You know, I could have accomplished way more a lot faster, and not be scared to take a step. Like, just have confidence. Even if you don't see where that next step is at, just take it. You know. There's a lot of things that I could have jumped on, you know, and I didn't. Whether it was I wasn't confident, or, you know, I was scared of what would happen, or, you know, but you got to take chances.
So you think people lose more by taking a chance, or lose
I
more
think
by
people
not taking a chance?
people lose way more by not taking a chance, especially on themselves. I think if a lot more people took chances on themselves, you know, and see that they can accomplish, you know, even like I said, a small step, that gives you the confidence to keep going. Like, and if people would just realize that, you know, you don't have to open up a business in one day. Just start with coming up with a name for your business, you know? Start with visualizing what you want inside your business, what you want to sell, you know? Like, take it small steps, but every day come up with something.
Do you believe in manifestation?
Hell yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
So you believe you manifested yourself being a chef, a lawyer, a construction owner?
You know, yeah. I mean, for the most part, you start setting yourself up for things. I mean, things just start when you open yourself up, like things just start falling into place when it's meant to be, you know. But you also have to take advantage of when you see an opportunity. You have to take advantage of it because, like I said, a lot of us. I mean, even myself, like, a lot of opportunities I didn't jump on.
So sometimes when opportunity is shown, you need to take action.
Yeah, you have to. You can't. Yeah, I mean, it's not. Everyone has opportunities, man. It's just like what does Eminem say? You know, you gotta take it, lose yourself. What does he say in that song?
Yeah, you
Like,
gotta.
you know, take advantage of the moment. Because if not, I mean, that moment's gone. And now you're talking about what could have been, or I should have done this, or I should have done that.
So don't live with regret. Go after it if you want to.
Yeah,
go
man.
after it.
You know, my mom used to tell me, you know, how does the saying go? Now I can't even think of it. Sorry, Mom. Like the greatest failure in life is not in falling; it's in not getting back up. You know, and it doesn't matter how many times you fall. Like I'm a strong believer that the more you fuck up, the closer you are to your dream, man, because you're learning from all those fuck ups. And like, as long as you keep trying, you know, you'll get there.
It's like going to the fair, right? Trying to win that fishy. Where you throw it low.
Man, I did that. So I have not done anything. I mean, like I said, I used to play basketball in high school. I almost played in college. You know, I played football. I'm a pretty good athlete. And we went to the boardwalk, man. I hadn't picked up any type of sporting equipment since the hospital, you know, and didn't even realize that I had lost, you know, some of that muscle motion from like shooting a basketball. Like, you know, and I used to be really good. I used to shoot really well. And I went up to the little, you know, stand and got my basketball, and man, I felt like a damn idiot. I couldn't even get my form. Like I was like, man, I felt like a little kid again. I wanted to shoot it underhand. Like, I was like, don't hate. I couldn't even reach the basket, man.
Damn.
Yeah. It was horrible. But like, you know, you have to relearn, you know, like bending your legs to help you shoot and all that. Like, I was like, damn, man, I don't realize, you know, that you can forget that stuff that quick.
Because you take for granted that stuff that you
Yeah, little stuff, man. I mean, you know, part of the stuff that I took for granted, you know, it humbled me a lot coming out of the hospital. I had to learn how to use like a fork and spoon again, you know.
For the people that don't know, man, you keep talking about the hospital, but the audience doesn't know what happened, man. You mind sharing your story a little bit about that?
Nah, not at all, man. I was, you know, not taking care of myself, drinking way too many energy drinks and caffeine and all that stuff shut down my kidneys one day, man. And I thought I had the flu or something because I wasn't feeling well. I was really nauseated. And so I started drinking Gatorades and, you know, ginger ale, 7-Ups, what you do when you're sick. And unfortunately, my body wasn't processing any of the sugars that I was drinking because my kidneys were down. And after my kidneys being shut down for a while, I can't think of it now. Pancreas shut down. And then after my pancreas shut down, my liver decided to shut down. So my body just basically said, you know, I'm done for a little while. And my sugar levels went up to 1,450, which a normal person's sugar levels are about 80.
Ooh.
Yeah. The doctors told my parents, you know, that if I survived, I'd be brain dead. I'd probably have to get something amputated, you know. And I was in a coma for 17 days and in the hospital for a total of 46 days dealing with that. Had to do dialysis and, you know, learn how to use basic motor skills again, learn how to walk, you know, feed myself. But luckily, man, everything came out well and I'm normal again. Just got to get back in shape.
So can you say that you are a little bit brain dead, or?
Nah, man. Only sometimes late on Friday nights. It's the only time, and that's by choice. It's self-induced. Yeah, no, but that was my brain was out without oxygen for a good amount of time. I had a lot of people praying for my ass.
Yeah, I definitely remember, man.
Yeah, you were one of the first people to see me out of the hospital.
I found out because of Danny.
Yeah, he had hit me up. I couldn't even talk. He was trying to hold a big ass conversation. I was like, "Hey man, can I hit you? I can't talk. I just got out of the hospital."
I remember thinking that it was because of COVID.
Yeah, no.
Like,
but they had to intubate me like you do with COVID, stick all the tubes and shit down my throat. Yeah. So that's why I couldn't talk.
You were on that Matrix shit, huh?
Oh yeah, it was bad, man. It was really bad.
Well, I'm glad you pulled through, man.
Yeah, it was a trip, man. That'll be another story for another day. Tell you all this shit about the hospital. I had some crazy brain things going on in there.
So you're telling me that if a good-looking model-type girl would have asked you for some loving, you wouldn't be able to perform because you didn't remember.
No. Man, I don't remember going into the hospital.
Damn.
Yeah. Last thing I remember is I was literally like fucking just pounding the guy. You know, I felt hella dehydrated, and I was pounding the Gatorade. And last thing I remember is like throwing up on my couch. Like I couldn't even get up. Like I threw up all over myself, and I was like, "Oh, okay. I think it's time. It's time I go to the doctor or something."
But you don't even remember how you got to the doctor.
Nah, no, I don't remember. When I woke up from the coma, well, so it's a trip, man. The whole time I was in the coma, like, even though they were saying I was, you know, possibly brain dead, like my brain was still processing everything that was going on in the room. Like, I can't say I remember what people were saying, but my brain was reacting to what people were saying in the room. And I'll explain that first, like, a little bit is one of the nurses that was taking care of me, you know, they were in there like 24/7 the first couple of days with me, you know. I always had someone by my side. And I guess one of the nurses was about to move to LA, right?
Yeah.
And she was talking about LA. And so when I woke up from my coma, I like randomly just woke up, and the lady was like, "Oh, you know, hey, you know, welcome back." And I didn't know that I was in a coma when I woke, you know, like,
yeah,
not knowing what the hell was going on. So she goes, "Do you know where you're at?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm in LA." You know, but that's because that's all I was hearing while I was in my coma. And she started laughing, and she goes, "No, do you want to try again?" Nah, I'm in LA. And I even told her that I had been in Mexico for a couple of weeks, but I was basically telling what the nurse was saying. You know, and then the nurse walks in and she goes, "Oh my God, like you were hearing me the whole fucking time." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And like, even when they were saying, like, I remember at one point they were saying, you know, I might need a kidney transplant, right? Oh yeah, no, I was bad. They were like, you know, he might need a kidney transplant. And all I heard is we're gonna have to remove his kidneys, right? So my brain started creating this, you know, fucking little story to put the pieces together. And I thought they were like trying to steal my organs. And I'm in a coma, right? And at this point, like my body starts fucking fighting, and I'm fighting to get out, but I'm out. Like I'm not awake. And they had to put like handcuffs on me to handcuff me to the bed because I was trying to fucking escape. Yeah. But in my head, like I remember, you know, my dream or whatever it was. I remember everything when I was asleep. I remember fucking everything, and I had some crazy ass shit going on in my head.
So you were in a coma for how many days?
17 days.
Dang, so you could have lived like a whole lifetime.
Yeah, like it was a trip, man. I did a lot of stuff, and when I woke up, like I thought I had done, like, and I was arguing with my girl. And I was like, "You don't remember going to so and so?" And she was like, "No." And I was like, "We fucking sat there and had dinner." Like I remember the conversations. I remember everything. Like it was nuts. Like I remember what she was wearing. Like it was intense, man. And to realize, like, no, none of that shit happened. It was just your brain, like, creating shit. And it was nuts, man. This was during COVID, so my family couldn't come in and see me or anything. Yeah, so, they were just getting phone calls. Luckily, the nurse that was taking care of me was actually a really good friend of mine from junior college. And so she was calling my parents and updating them and stuff. And somehow when I woke up like at 12:30 something, like right after midnight, and I woke up on my dad's birthday.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and the first thing I told the nurse, after she asked me where I was at, I go, I'm in LA, but I gotta get home. And she's like, why do you have to go home? I go, I gotta cook. It's my dad's birthday.
Yeah.
And
How'd you know it was your dad's birthday?
I have no idea, man. I always cook for my dad on his birthday, like every year. And I cook him the same shit. And I don't know. It's just my brain said, hey, it's fucking time. And like, I recently before I went in the hospital, I had a really good friend that passed away, man. And right before I woke up, I was having a conversation with him, like a normal conversation.
Oh, shit.
And like talking to him about shit that was happening now. Like not talking about shit that happened before. Like I was having, like if he was there with me, right? And the last thing I remember before I woke up was him telling me to wake up. He goes, hey fool, it's time to get up. And he's like, wake up.
What?
And that's why I remember hearing, wake up, wake up.
Yeah.
And I opened up my eyes and looked around. There was a nurse standing in front of me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck, where the fuck am I at,
Do you
when
feel like something happened spiritual, like through that, or like?
Yeah, man. Like I'm still trying to. There's stuff that I'm still trying to piece together. Like I don't know if it was a dream after I came from the hospital, or like there's stuff that I'm trying to piece together. But yeah, man. Like I remember seeing lights and shit like that, like lights at the end of a tunnel.
Damn.
And like it was on one of the last days right before I came out of the coma. They started to allow my mom to come in for like an hour out of the day, and during that hour, she said when she walked in that it was almost raining outside, and there was a bright light shining through my window and like hitting me for a long ass time. Yeah.
Oh, shit. And it was raining outside.
Yeah, and it was raining.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've always been like, I would say a spiritual person, but
Damn, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to ask you if you were a spiritual person.
I'd always say a spiritual person, but I wouldn't say religious, like in the sense of the Bible, But I've always been a spiritual, but I mean, that experience changed me, man. Like I pray every day now, like it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Then I realized how short life can be. Like there was nothing wrong with me, man. Like it was just from one day to the damn next. Like I had just gotten a haircut from them like 3 days before I went into the hospital.
Damn.
Yeah, it happened quick. And so I kind of, you just appreciate life a little more. I don't get as angry at little things, that I used to. Little shit that would piss me off and keep me mad all day, and now I'm just like, let it go, man. It ain't worth it. Yeah, no, it was definitely a humbling experience, man. Like I was on a high horse, man. I was doing really well with my legal shit. I was cooking for everybody, and I just stopped paying attention to myself, and it's a good lesson. Gotta focus on yourself.
Oh yeah, that's like I feel that's a big thing. Is that your health?
Oh yeah. Well, before COVID, man, I was like your size, man. I was a lot thinner than fucking COVID hit, and I couldn't go to. I've always been the type of person I have to work out to stay thin. Yeah. My gym shut down. Couldn't go work out no more. Yeah. Fucking just sat at home. They couldn't go nowhere. All the stores were closed.
And then you're a cook.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting at home, and I was like, "Fuck, this is time to practice." Fuck, I'm gonna hone my skills. And fuck, all I did is hone an extra 100 pounds on my ass. So yeah, man, it's tough getting back in shape now because I'm still dealing with like leg issues from the hospital from laying down for so long. Like my legs give out at times and stuff, but I'd rather have them give out and I'm alive than,
yeah.
than the alternate, man.
Oh, see, this
get a
Yeah,
fucking game.
my first cooking job, man, I didn't have a servers or anything. Like,
Oh, yeah.
so I had to hire hookers or strippers.
Hookers.
No, they're strippers. They can be hookers if they pay the right amount.
Make sure you edit that part out.
Staying in.
Oh,
I had to
We
get,
don't, he's a lawyer. We don't have to worry about this
I
kind
had
of
to
stuff.
get-
If
I
he
had-
says it, we're good.
I'm not gonna sue you. I had to get creative, man.
no,
So
we're not
what-
talking about you suing the girls.
Nah, I can't say. They're my employees.
That they're gonna be like,
I didn't name no names.
but you know who you are.
I didn't have a choice, man. I'll give a shout out to Carl for that idea.
Carl, if you're listening,
Yeah, Carl.
good looking out, player.
Good looking out, man. I'm glad you did what you did back in the day and danced on a pole. made those connections, buddy.
So the moral of this story is not to give up.
Nah, do whatever the hell you gotta do, man. Just don't be scared. That's my biggest regret, man, is fear.
Well, they say that all of us can be fearful, but the key is to fight through it.
Yeah.
Even if you're scared, just push through
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, even the toughest motherfuckers are still scared.
I feel like what some people struggle with are like, dang, like what if it does work out, you know? Then what?
Yeah, you know what? I'm getting the chills when you say that. A big thing for me when I first started is like, do I deserve to be successful?
Yeah, like that's
What happens if I blow up? Like, I'm from a small town. Am I gonna be able to handle this? Like, I was more worried about that shit, and I'm like, man, those are the wrong things to be worrying about.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I feel like
Damn,
it
that's
comes
crazy.
with the part. It's like, oh shit, what happens when it does work?
Yeah,
Now you gotta, that's
that's a totally different responsibilities and.
because when you're in the process, you're still like coming up, you know. But
Oh,
once
yeah.
if you do make it out, it's like, oh shit.
Oh yeah, no, I remember. I thought I was the shit when I was in law school.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to bar. Fuck yeah, I'm in law school. And then when it was time to be a lawyer, I was like, fuck, man, I'm a lawyer. Like, fuck, I gotta go to court. Like, I gotta defend people. Like, fuck, like people's lives are in my hands. Like, this sucks.
Especially when you're over there making dinner fucking reservations and your client doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Shit.
Did Miguel tell you that one, man? I fucking thought for sure this guy was gonna get off. And I pretty much guaranteed him. And I was like, man, I'm so fucking confident that we're making the reservations right now. I'm gonna take you out to a baller ass dinner. We're gonna go grub. You know, I'm telling him all this shit.
Yeah.
And the judge is like, fuck, he's staying here. And I was like, oh fuck, like, what just happened? The guy goes like, guess we're not going to dinner no more. I said, I guess you're not going to dinner no more. I made the reservations. I gotta go. I'm sorry, buddy. Like, fuck.
Oh shit.
That was the only time, man, that shit caught me off guard. That was horrible.
The moral of that story: don't count
count
your
your eggs.
chickens
Yeah.
before they hatch.
Yeah, fuck, that was horrible. And that dude just looking at me like, fuck, I'm hungry, man. I want to go eat.
Was he in? Did he have to stay for a long time?
Oh, yeah.
He did.
It was like 30 days. But
Oh, man, that's not too bad.
yeah, but when you're not expecting to do anything, then you're not the type of person that does well. Like if I had to do 30 days, fuck, I'd go nuts.
Oh yeah.
How do you think all of us felt fucking during the whole COVID shutdown?
Yeah, no, I fucking went, I wasn't right. I
You
wasn't
don't gotta be in jail to be doing time.
Yeah, I wasn't right during COVID, man. I couldn't do anything that I normally did. Even the courts were shut down.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do shit.
Just
Yeah, no,
have the blazer.
I visualize myself putting, what I need in my tools in the car and everything, so that when I'm doing it, I don't forget anything. And it's a trip, man. I'll catch myself like, I'm like, oh, I didn't load something, but it's because it's in my head visually, and visually I seen it in the car, and it's not there.
Ah.
Yeah.